Hello, it's me, Dave Roberts. I'm actually doing a review today of an album called No NES for the Wicked No NES for the Wicked by Vomitron. It's a play on some other album or something that came out and I don't really know what it is and I didn't bother to Google it and look it up. It is a play on another title and I'm kind of ashamed for not knowing, but whatever. More importantly, it's a great album. It's mostly instrumental. The only vocals you'll hear are on the first track, called Filtered Blow. It's a guy putting a cartridge in his NES and trying to get it to work. I can identify with that, you know, being a total nerd and, you know, still having old NES that I pull out from time to time when I'm feeling nostalgic. I love to play the original thing. You can get games on virtual console or emulators, but there's nothing like, you know, playing the old gray box. It's a great feeling. It takes you right back to 1989, at least it does for me. And that's part of the reason I play it, not just to experience those classic games that they can't seem to recreate these days perfectly. But it just makes me happy, it takes me back. And that's what really what this album does for me. If you look at the album, you might laugh, or you might like it. It's a half-naked girl. They picked a good model, front and back. I'm not gonna let you see the inside of the album. You have to buy it. I recommend that you buy it because I'm not trying to be one of those guys that says you shouldn't download free music. I've done it from time to time, but if I find something I really like, I purchase the album, and I had to purchase this. It's just good work, and I want more people to buy it, and I want Peter Ruccio, who is Vomitron. He pretty much does everything. I think he's had some drummers work with him before on older tracks. And I don't really know the history, but Vomitron is mostly a one-man job, and forgive me if I pronounce his last name right, but Peter Ruccio is the guy who does it. And he had another album in 2007. It's really good. It's not video game covers or rearrangements. It's original stuff and a few covers of 80s songs, like Eye of the Tiger. On the new re-release has Eye of the Tiger cover, which is really awesome. It's a great song, and hearing it done in his techno metal style is really cool. The guy plays in another band as a keyboardist. You can tell that when you listen to the album. There's a lot of keyboards, and they're done in a style that's like it really works with the NES. And when I was a kid, I loved video game music coming out of my console. People were like, Dave, that's just noise. And I'm like, no, it's not. There's some really good melodies there, you know. And a lot of crazy scale patterns and just changes, and just the music progression on those games in the late 80s, early 90s and onward was just really crazy, especially the 80s. There was nothing like it, even if, and you can tell with a full band playing, you know, you have bass, guitar, drums, twin harmonic guitar, keyboards just rocking out. It's really cool to hear. And let's talk about, go ahead and skip to the track list. It's got Filtered Blow, just the intro. You have a Contra. These tracks are big. He only covers about 7-8 different games on this album, but the tracks are huge. Most of the tracks, he covers the whole soundtrack. You get to hear almost everything. Contra, almost every track there. Blaster Master, not every track, but he does an exceptional job on Blaster Master. This track 3, really love that game, still love it today. I have it on NES and Virtual Console for my convenience of playing, and I have the recently released, well, within the past couple of years, I guess, the remake or update Blaster Master. I guess I forgot what it's called, but I've played it like 5 times. It's excellent. If you still have a Wii console, hook it back up, take it out of the closet, quit trying to be cool, download it. Worth your money. There's a lot of different renditions of Tetris on here, from both the NES version and the Tengen NES version. You know, there's the Nintendo and the Tengen. I never played the Tengen one, but a lot of the music is based off of old Russian themes and rearrangements done by the Japanese composers, things like that. I won't go into detail. Kind of step over those because they're like intermissions between the big tracks on the album. Not that they're not worthy. I mean, belong on the album and you'll grow to appreciate it more. I'll go ahead and skip to track 5, Legend of Zelda. It's probably one of the shortest real tracks on the album. It's really good. The original NES Legend of Zelda. You can't miss it. It's great. Ninja Gaiden Acts 1 through 3, the original NES Ninja Gaiden. I know there's the arcade game and the Sega Genesis version and all that, but I'm talking about the original NES. That's what Ninja Gaiden was really known for. I always thought it would sound good on guitars and with metal or rock when I was a kid. And, you know, Vomitron project sounds really good. It's actually when I was playing in a band, it inspired a lot of my music, and the guys kind of noticed, Dave, this sounds like a video game, and I'll be honest, I blatantly ripped off Ninja Gaiden. If you hear Time, the guitar solo, it's a direct rip-off of, I believe, the 4th stage in Act 2 on this album. This guy does it better than I do, of course. Superb musician. The musicianship on this album is excellent. It's precision perfect. Even if you don't like video games, if you just like progressive music, metal, instrumentals, something great for the gym even, I'll still recommend it. You don't have to be a nerd to enjoy it. If you're a nerd though, you'll definitely like it. He also covers Double Dragon. Soundtrack from the first NES game. It's excellent. I know a lot of guys 25 and up, somewhere in that age range. Most of them are probably in their 30s now, to be honest. Played Double Dragon and dreamed about roaming the streets and kicking ass like those guys, and it didn't happen, but that's okay. This guy, he did it. It's pure glory. It's excellent work. He also does the second half of Ninja Gaiden, pretty much the entire soundtrack on a separate track. It starts off really heavy stuff, and but really melodic too. That's what I really like about it. It's heavy, but melodic at the same time. It's catchy, but it's not weak either. You know, a lot of music is either one or the other. This captures both. And it's another quality I like. It also has Zelda 2, the Adventure Link, an underrated Zelda game. Often misunderstood in my opinion. I really liked Zelda 2. I actually like it more than the first game. My all-time favorite is Link to the Past. Ocarina's good. Of course it's great. I won't argue. I know a lot of people argue which is better, Ocarina or Link to the Past. I'm not going to go there. I say play every Zelda game until it's dead. Until the game stops working. Because I could play Zelda all damn day. I'm not going to because I'm actually going to get outside today. But that's another story. Enough about myself. Last track on here is Castlevania. Yes. Castlevania is really fit for metal. It's got a lot of minor and melodic minor phrases, passages in the original game, so it works perfectly for metal. It just, you hear it and you're like, it's like these guys were thinking ahead. And in the 80s, metal was big. You had a lot of pop metal and whatnot, but you had a lot of guitar solos, a lot of guys with big poofy hair shredding their asses off, and you happen to have video games. A lot of those Japanese composers, and most of them are Japanese, and I'm sorry, Nintendo dominated the video game market in the late 80s, and it shows. And the Japanese composers that made the music were just different. Not to say there haven't been some great American composers, but I really miss games when they were fronted by a lot of Japanese composers. David Wise, who did a lot of games for Rare, excellent guy, excellent composer. But a lot of my favorite guys, you know, are Hip Tanaka, Koji Kondo, the greats. You won't be disappointed if you're into that stuff. It's a great album, and there's a couple of things I want to just finish on. And I'd like to see more from the guys. If you're interested, great music, pick the album up. Personally, if Vomitron sees this, he might not. Maybe only 5 people on my Facebook will see it, but I have some other games I'd like to see him do. Ninja Gaiden 2 for your next album, consider it. Star Tropics, guy maybe hasn't even played it, I don't know. Mario 3, some people say it's overdone. I'd like to see what the guy can do with that. A lot of good blues scales going on some of those levels. Skate or Die, perfect for metal. Definitely in that era. Legacy of the Wizard, hey man, not many people have played it, but it's got some great music, excellently suited for metal. Little Nemo, great stuff, very diverse. I think Vomitron would kill it. And then 3 more I'd like to see done by this guy. Double Dragon 2, if you did Double Dragon 1, why not 2? The second soundtrack is just as good as the first. Not to say the first doesn't kick ass, but the second one does. Street Fighter 2010. It's an odd one. It's not very popular either, and a lot of people look back at this game, what the hell? That's a weird game. It's very difficult. It's actually a really good game. You gotta get good at it. You gotta play it. It's got a killer soundtrack. It's a really dark techno type soundtrack, and I think Vomitron would kill it too. And last but not least, DuckTales. Capcom did this. You know, Capcom did Mega Man, Street Fighter, a lot of the greats, and they did a really good job at DuckTales. It's a short game, but a lot of fun. And I don't really know who composed it, but it kind of sounds like Mega Man, but happier, if that's possible. I would recommend you do that. And that's about it. Go Google Vomitron, get on a search engine, look it up. Go to his site, buy the album. You can get it on Amazon if you want MP3. I personally prefer CD because you can buy it, you get the artwork, a physical backup copy, and you can rip it to iTunes or whatever else you want. You know, that's kind of a matter of opinion there. But if you're wanting quick and easy, just go to Amazon. And if you're a poor ass, you're broke, download it illegally. I'm sure Vomitron would appreciate it if you bought it, but I'm not going to be preachy. And that's it. Just want to say thank you, and thank you to Vomitron for making a great album. It's great for the gym, great in my car. It puts a smile on my face.